Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. And on behalf of the Musqueam people, I'd like to welcome you all to traditional territory. My name is Wade Grant, as Mr. Sullivan had said, but my traditional name is Tsalakwalano. And for those of you who aren't from this area, the Musqueam Nation now resides at the south end of Vancouver near the mouth of the Fraser River. But traditionally, for over 4,000 years, we have lived in what is now called Metro Vancouver. But as Mr. Sullivan had stated, although I am a Musqueam band member, I'm a proud Vancouverite too. I know why so many people want to call and have called this place home for so many years. It's obvious to me why 4,000 years ago my ancestors came to this area. It's such a beautiful place to grow up, such a beautiful place to live, it's such a beautiful place to call home. And I know those that are from here know it's the best city in the world to live. And those who visit here will say it's the second best place to live in the world, opposed from where they live. I grew up in the south end of Vancouver. I grew up in the Dunbar area. I grew up going to Southlands Elementary School. I grew up going to Point Grey Secondary School, and then I went to the University of British Columbia. And although I am only 34 years old, I have seen a number of changes, not only in my community, but right around this city. And in my community, just like the city of Vancouver, the Musqueam Nation is growing, its population is growing exponentially year by year. And the Musqueam Nation is actually the smallest per capita reservation in Canada. So we have a problem that's no different than urban centers around the province and around the country and around the world. How do we house these people in a way that not only allows them to live comfortably, but in a way that respects the land, respects what we hold dearest, and that's the environment that we live around. I know that for far too long, I listened to my elders and my ancestors and talking about what Mr. Sullivan had said about what had happened in the past. Although I don't forget about what happened in the past, although it has made who I am today, I also embrace that we are moving forward. And we're moving forward to create a better society, to create a better community. Musqueam and the city of Vancouver aren't just neighbors, we are one community. They must come together to create a brighter future for our children. I'm a father of two now. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, Eli and Isla. And as I look forward, I realize how far we've come, and I've said this before, is I couldn't imagine my grandfather imagining that his grandson would be standing here being introduced by the former mayor of Vancouver, because I don't think he probably had one meeting with a mayor when he was chief of the Musqueam Nation. But we all realize now that we are together. None of us are going anywhere, so we must create a society, we must create a city that respects everyone and respects where we live. And I know that the conversation we have today, the conversation that you'll be having, will pique interest, will pique ideas that we don't have to, when we're older, think and say, oh, remember the good old days. I hear that all the time. Remember the good old days when this was that, this was here, this was there. But we can say to each other, things are so much better now than they were before. Things are so much better than they were when we were 34 years old. And my son and my daughter can say, wow, Dad, you really did work so hard to create a better Musqueam, a better Dunbar, a better city of Vancouver, and a better Canada. So I thank you all for coming here today. And I once again, on behalf of the Musqueam people, behalf of the Chief and Council, and behalf of my family, I say Haitz Epka, which is thank you in my language. I welcome you all again to the Musqueam traditional territory. Haitz Epka Siem, Nasiaya.